to my first video on the Akai MPC Touch, this beautiful beast right here. I want to let you guys know, hard at work on a brand new instructional DVD exclusively for the MPC Touch. Should be out in a couple weeks. Right now we're upgrading some equipment, but I wanted to bring you guys a video right away showcasing some of the cool things about the MPC Touch. So in this video, I'm going to show you a list of things that you could only do from the MPC Touch. So if you're kind of on the fence, thinking about should you buy the Touch or should you just stick with your old dedicated controller for the MPC, this might get you over the fence. So let's start off with a real simple feature, and that's rename from your hardware. Now, you could rename your sequence, your track, and your program fields in main mode super easy. So if I want to rename the sequence, all I got to do is press this little A here, and you'll see sequence 1, and I could name it just random name here and do it. Same thing with your track. Just name it something random, do it. And what's really nice too is you could do it to your program here. Now this is a really big enhancement, and it really helps to make you gravitate more towards the touch user interface rather than use your mouse or use your software. Moving on to number 2, something that at this point, after using it, I can't really live without. And that is the fact that you have a dedicated copy and delete button right on the hardware. And what you could do, which is super awesome, we just get in a copy here, is you could copy across pad banks. Now you couldn't do that before. You could copy pads or you could swap out pads, but it would just be on that pad bank. All right, so let's demonstrate the copy feature here. Let me hit the copy button. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy pad 1 here from the A bank, and I'm gonna copy it all the way over to the H bank. So let me tap down here, and we'll go ahead and pull up the H bank by hitting our pad bank buttons. So I'm gonna copy it to pad 2 here in the H bank, and you'll see it visually lit up there in red. It's ready to go. Just press do it, and bam. Quickly copy. That's an uber time saver. But now this is really cool. You could also delete stuff in bulk across all of your pad banks. So how you do it, let me hit shift and copy to get into our delete pad page. And from here, you could just go to town. I mean, you pick a pad bank, you start selecting sounds that you want deleted. You could go across multiple pad banks at once, and you'll see all the stuff that's going to get deleted here in red. So it's a great purge feature, and once you're ready to delete, you just press delete, and they're gone. So that's something you could do right before you save to start getting back hard drive space, because you know, we're getting spoiled nowadays with huge hard drives. Maybe we'll have, 100 megabytes of sounds we didn't even use on the beat. So this would be a new great habit to acquire, deleting stuff before you save. So moving on. All right, so here's something else that is pretty darn cool. Each play pad in your program now has its own fader, so you could quickly adjust the volume for each pad without even leaving the main screen. The fader on your main screen in the MPC software is only for your program, not your individual play pad. So this is really cool. So I'm gonna give you, for instance, right here, how to get to it is from the main screen. I'm just gonna click on this little arrow right here, and this pop out is gonna come out. And I'm gonna click on this little drum pad looking thing to change it from program to individual play pads. So now, and you could just go through the whole entire program's play pads, give them their own unique volume control. I dig that. I dig that a lot. So another vast improvement is the ability to zoom and edit and chop samples right from your Touch's LCD. So I can pick just anywhere in this waveform and just zoom right in on it. Pretty responsive zooming. It zooms out really fast. So the touchscreen really starts to shine once you're in chop mode. So I'm gonna jump here to chop, and I'm gonna hit my pencil tool, and I could just quickly make these slices. Boom. And for fine tuning, I will hit the magnifying glass, zoom in a healthy amount, hit my play pad while adjusting the start times from my cue links. And there it is. Chop that up super quick. And yes, Lazy Chop works better than ever on a touch LCD. Let me just go ahead and start doing a Lazy Chop. So the Lazy Chop feature seems to be working better than ever on the LCD. Alright, so something else that I absolutely love is being able to go into grid view and actually grab notes with a pinch and nudge them with your fingers or with the data dial. So let me go ahead and I'm going to program in a pattern a little bit sloppy so I can correct the notes really quick in the grid view. But turn my quantize off actually, so TC off, do it. Personally, I don't use time correction too much, and being able to nudge notes quickly is a real time saver. So let me just get into record here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly nudge some of those notes. Jump here to menu and then grid view. And this is really awesome right here. Go ahead and make sure I have my selection tool selected. I can just grab one or multiple notes here. Then from right there, I can just use my data dial and nudge the notes how I want them. And it's little things like that, especially when you don't like to use quantize, that'll save you a lot of time. It's just more intuitive being able to touch, grab, select. Alright, so here's something else pretty cool. It's the ability to play your drum pads or your chords and scales from both your physical drums and from your LCD pads drums. This works a lot better with chords and scales, but let me show it to you real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Shift and menu, which takes us into the browse page, and from there I hit samples. So this opens up some really interesting possibilities when you're physically collaborating with another person. Since we don't have the ability to hook up two MPC Touches or two MPC Renaissance or Studios or any combo, you can only have one MPC controller hooked up. But this right here really opens up some doors. So instead of a drum pad, let's go ahead and let's do a key group. And now, so this is pretty nice. You might be able to come up with actually some melodies that you wouldn't have came up with before just using these drum pads. Having one hand play the virtual pads and one hand play the physical pads. Alright, now something else which is really cool is the XY effects, being able to actually use your finger on the LCD to do things like beat repeats and filter sweeps and all types of stuff, kind of reminiscent of like a chord chaos pad. Let's go ahead and let's access the XY effects and go here to menu, XY effects. From here you have setup, and here are all the different XY effects you have. So in this case, I'm just going to use beat repeat LPF low pass filter. And you can see, and it's really cool, it has a latch feature too. Pretty ill. So to record all that, it's really easy. All you gotta do is switch your automation state to red. And I'm recording it right now. list of things you could only do from your MPC Touch, not your Renaissance and not your Studio. If you were on the fence about buying, well, let me just tell you, this screen is really, really nice. Really responsive. It hasn't been laggy to me at all. The build quality of it is really solid. It kind of feels like a push to me, the build material used. But these pads, I mean, these pads feel so good on your fingers. It's a real lovely thing. So the MPC Touch instructional DVD coming soon. It's in the works now. Make sure to subscribe and make sure to pick up that instructional DVD when it drops.